I usually have a little PowerPoint and visual aid, so I printed that out. I put Coach Rosa to work today to make that happen, so thank you, Coach Rosa. But I do want to introduce, I'm going to go through this. I'm usually done in a half hour, so I go pretty quick. As questions arise, if you have an individual question, you can see me at the end. If you have a question for the collective group or I'm not making sense, please let me know. But we should be in and out fairly quickly. I'm Coach Moroder. Coach Wolf is not quite here yet. In the back, I have Coach T. Although he moved on me now, he is in the way back. Coach T coaches wide receivers. He's checking people in. I have Coach Lagerman over here, probably texting Coach Wolf, where the heck are you? Okay. I have Coach Ott standing right next to him. He will be the O-line, H-backs, and JV offensive coordinator. And then I have Coach Kastner on the offensive side, wearing a sweet retro Nicolet shirt, who will coach the JV2 program, which I will get into in a little bit. Coach Wolf, who's not here, coaches the offensive line. In the back, I have Coach Rosa, looking like he is making sure, checking people in and out, with the sunglasses and the black shirt on. You look good today, Coach Rosa. Thank you. All right. Coach Lewis, walking around with a red hat. We'll get him some Nicolet gear one day. Pops, wandering around, he's in the gray shirt. Coach Yoder, he came over. He's coaching defensive backs. Coach Plum is coaching D-line, and will be the JV D coordinator. And then Coach Dunning, who has returned from his hiatus in New York for a couple years, and he will be coaching the JV2 D coordinator position and our varsity defensive backs. Marissa Strelo is our trainer. Your athletes will hear from her. She was at our mini camp. She's with us 99% of the time. When she's not with us, she works for the Chinooks in Mequon at Concordia, and usually either finds coverage. We will have student trainers. We usually have them every single year. We usually have two. We will have student trainers again. They cannot work individually without a trainer or a sub-trainer being there for us. We have manager Ava Landrum, who's with us. I don't know if she's here today. I saw Ava wave. There she is. Ava works really hard for us, and so I didn't want to leave her out. And then I have a game day crew of Coach O, Jeff Help, Ethan Millard, Phil Herrick, Tim Ustruck, and Mr. McKenna, who helped us out at the tail end of last year. Why do I say this? Is there's a lot of people working for your athletes and for this program day in and day out. As you can see here, almost 20 different people working on a game day on a Friday to make sure that we are successful. The second point I'm going to move on to is why are we here? I always start and end the season with the why, how, and what. We're here to build and sustain a high quality program. So not only are we working on a daily basis, but we look over the course of a year, course of 4 years for your athlete, and then collectively the course of what Nicolet football and what our culture is doing for the community and what we've done here in terms of not just wins and losses, but what it means to bring good football to this community. And we do that through strength and conditioning, a focus on habits and behaviors, systemic programming 4 through 12, multi-sport continuity. I have two wrestling coaches, track coaches, I have a softball coach, basketball coach, up and down the lineup. We have head coaches from different sports. We have coaches who have been honored by the state of Wisconsin as assistant coaches of the years with these two guys for different sports. So you will never ever hear me say that a kid should just play football. My goal is to make athletes out of our students, and that is one thing that I truly believe, and I do that. You get that. Hopefully it's seen by who I hire and who I bring on in order to make that happen. And then finally, the night leadership team. That's something where we meet every other week with varsity kids. We meet every other week throughout the school year and talk about what we're doing in order to be successful in the classroom and in the community. And then ultimately what makes us successful on the football field is the same things, those same habits and behaviors that occurs on a daily basis inside the classroom and at home and in the community. And I'll hit that on the next page. And then what happens from that is wins and playoff appearances. We've done it the last 2 years. We're hoping to do it again this year. I have high expectations for this team, and hopefully you guys do as well. And you're going to carry that out. An athlete-led program. a situation where I will turn to the leaders of our program and ask them what they want when decisions are made in terms of what our expectations are, who's meeting our expectations, and how are we going to win. I really rely heavily on the kids in order to move our program forward and move our culture forward. And then that turns into having shared values and high expectations. So that's the why are we here. I'm going to go over a little bit if you want to flip the page. What our mission is. Our mission is to become champions, okay, day in and day out. Down at the base of our triangle here, okay, our foundation is the 4 core values that we have: focus, commitment, strength, and speed. Those are the things that we evaluate kids on. A focused athlete maintains quality grades. I just looked this up. At the end of the school year this year, if you have a 3.3 GPA collectively over 4 years at Nicolet High School, you can apply to Carroll University. They're going to give you $80,000 worth of scholarships over your 4 years. Just by having a 3.3, you have earned $80,000 in scholarships from Carroll University. Okay, so this is something I put on the front end. This is something that the older guys who get to hang out with me know that I love teaching personal finance, and I like talking about, okay, the value of an education and what it means to become a consumer of education after high school. On the front end, okay, the best thing you can do as a freshman, okay, yes, come in, have fun, work really hard at football, but set yourself up with the grades, 3.3 or higher, because down the road you're going to say, man, I really wish I did. Okay, so I say this and I start with this every single time. And this monetary value has only gone up. Okay, you do not need to take an ACT in order to earn that. You need a 3.3 GPA from Nicolet High School, and Carroll University will give you $80,000. I have a young man who actually works with Coach O, who has taken advantage of that opportunity and pays very little, pays less than what it would take to go to a state school in order to go to Carroll based on the scholarships that he has earned because of his grades. So we always sit here and say, I want to be this Division I, I want to be this Division II athlete, I need to get money, I'm worried about money, I got to pay for college. You want to pay for college? Get a 3.3 GPA. Or higher. That's the minimum. Thank you, Mom. Okay? Something that's near and dear to my heart. I took advantage as a young man, and I think it needs to be heard constantly, because we forget when we're going to school all the time why we're here, and the ultimate goal is to put ourselves in the best positions to succeed beyond high school. Okay. The other way we see if kids are focused is if they're exercising, healthy decision making. What's their nutrition look like? Okay. Drugs and alcohol, are they avoiding those? Are they representing night football at all times socially? What are they acting like in school? Okay. Oftentimes, if you don't know what the main focus is, your distractions become the main focus. This is something we work on. I understand that our athletes, okay, are young adults who are learning to navigate the world, but we do have high expectations that they represent Nicolet well, that they represent your family well, and that we are committed to doing that as a unit. Okay? Commitment, okay, actively engaging in our strength program. Anything that is done above and beyond is fine, but Coach Rosa works his tail off. Our administration has committed educationally to be able to allow kids to take that class, strength and conditioning, multiple times per year now. They can take it first and second semester, earn a credit, and be able to take that off of their plate after school and do other things. So that helps us become multi-sport athletes, and it's something that our administration has committed to, something I'm really proud of, something that I think is a large reason as to why we've developed athletically here at Nicolet, is because of that. And I would like to take a moment and just give Coach Rosa a round of applause, because he puts in a ridiculous amount of time to make that happen. Then going above and beyond that in terms of commitment, actively participating in contact days, football skill building opportunities, is punctual for team engagements, okay, prepares through film and playbook study. Once you become a varsity player, okay, you give up your lunches for the first quarter of the year, because you're either in my classroom or you're in Coach Rose's classroom as a team, hanging out and learning the opponent. Okay, it's something that we steal 25 minutes, 30 minutes a day. Okay, that's 150 minutes in a week, in a 5-day week. So we just put 2.5 hours into film study. We got 2.5 hours better than the team that doesn't do that, and we get to hang out and do it together. So it's a pretty awesome opportunity. Okay, so being able to prepare through film and playbook study becomes pretty easy, because once we hit school, okay, that gets ingrained into what we do. And then strength is two things. Okay, an adjective, having great physical power and ability. Lancaster High School, who's been a Division V powerhouse forever, has gone through the study. When their senior leaders hit 80% in the weight room, they've made the playoff every single year. When they don't hit 80% in the weight room, they haven't made the playoffs. So I'd rather just take their data and argue it rather than figure it out on my own and hope that we are not in there 80% of the time. So let's just be in there 80% of the time, okay? And what happens then is we perform well on strength and conditioning tests. When we do that, okay, our confidence builds and we're able to feel strong and we play strong, okay? And the second thing is the ability to withstand great force or pressure. So we're eliminating excuses, okay? I'm a big proponent of there's not a whole lot of things in life that become surprises. Okay, I understand that they do, but we can avoid a lot of issues on the forefront, okay, by figuring out what we need to do, which allows us to eliminate excuses and then accept personal responsibility. As soon as we can accept personal responsibility, we can get on the same page and we can move forward in our program. And then finally, our fourth core value, which is speed. It doesn't mean I can run really fast from point A to point B. Okay, we train with a sense of urgency. We have a purpose about what we're doing. When we do that, we get 1% better every single day. And if you get 1% better every single day, at the tail end of the season, we'll be playing our best football. Okay? The other thing that makes us fast is understanding scheme and technique. I just sat down with Ian Harris and said, my job is to make you not think. Okay? Because people who think on Fridays don't play fast. We want you to play fast. So we want to eliminate that and teach you how to react to a situation. Everything we do in football, defensively, there's a stimulus and there's a reaction. And we need to train that reaction so we can play fast. So a clear mind equals fast feet. Okay, from there, the +1, the work in the dark. Are you getting your extra rep? That +1 is the effort I'm giving above and beyond what was asked of me. The integrity comes down to trust and conduct. Okay, you are what you repeatedly do. I'm around you guys enough, coaches are around you guys enough that you can say one thing and do the other, and we're going to judge you based on actions because we're around you long enough. Okay? Eliminating BCD, which is blame, complain, defend. We'll take the kids through that. Juice is effort and enthusiasm. What do you get excited for? Okay, are you excited tomorrow because it's day one? What is next Wednesday going to look like when we've been getting after each other for 7 days? And we're a couple days away from what we really want to do, which is compete against another team. What's your juice going to look like? Okay? Team together, the we over the me. Okay, we talk about family, forget about me, I love you. I don't know if I saw Stuhlmacher here, otherwise I'd call on him. He usually gets it correct. Okay? That establishes trust. When we can do that, we can play. Okay? We can play together as 11 teammates out on the field, and then the willingness to compete. Okay, are you mentally tough and are you prepared? Generally speaking, if you're prepared, you have good confidence, and then you become mentally tough. And that ultimately leads to what we're looking for, which is championships. Okay? And we have to execute championship behavior before we can win championships. So we're here to coach behavior, and ultimately Friday nights, Thursday nights are about having fun and executing what we've learned in terms of our habits and behaviors. So that's what these guys will hear. That's a quick synopsis of what we talk about with our night leadership team. Okay, it's something we've hit for a long time, and we have Mindset Mondays where we pick a topic and we talk about that and reflect on that. We do that every Monday as a program. It's something that I think has helped build where we're going, and it keeps us on the main thing for us. Okay, so I'll jump to the next page. Okay, so the initial timeline, I'm kind of get into the nitty-gritty of, okay, why are we here? What do you need to know? Tuesday, tomorrow, equipment handout is at 1:30. Ultimately, okay, you should have gotten an email, an A plan and a B plan. I am 95 to 99% sure we will be on the A plan. But I will not know that until 1:30 tomorrow. Believe me, Coach Rosa and I were putting together the running back sled today. We could not put it on the field because they are feverishly working to get it set. At 1:30, AstroTurf is coming down to give us the check mark, to say yes. Okay? If they don't, we will be getting on a bus and going to Concordia, which then pushes our timeline back a half hour. Unfortunately, I will not be able to communicate that before our athletes come here. Again, I am 95 to 99% sure. Dr. Kabar and I became really good friends throughout this whole process. And we will see where we're at 1:30. But I was out on the field. It's pretty awesome. Wednesday they will have all of our stands done on both sides, and then we'll continue to work through the process of what's going on in terms of, obviously we're in a construction site. The actual day for the unveiling or the open house would be the Cedarburg game, which is not until 9/14, but we will have enough done to be able to play before that. Then Wednesday through next Thursday, on weekdays we practice from 3 to 8 p.m. That's an hour of classroom time, an hour and a half of practice, an hour of classroom time, and an hour and a half of practice. Okay, Saturday we have pictures in the morning, and then we have practice. Please get here at 9 o'clock to get our pictures done, and then we will have practice. We'll end at 2. The second Friday, our varsity scrimmage will be at Kewaskum High School. Varsity is going from 5:20 to 7 o'clock, and then JV will follow 7 to 8:15. I will send out a better idea of when the buses are leaving, whether we go as a unit or we split that up. This is the first year that JV got bumped back. When I'm referencing JV, and I'll talk about this later, for the first 2 games, our freshmen and sophomores will play together as a JV. Freshmen cannot play a 9-game schedule unless they're playing with sophomores, so we'll play that as a JV. We will not pull anybody down to facilitate that. We have plenty, but I'll get to that in a little bit. From there, weekdays, we go from 3:15 to 6:15. And then on weekends, generally there's not a whole lot after those first 2 Saturdays. There might be a remote session before school starts. We've had the varsity in to watch some film. I think Coach Rose has bought pizza for the guys and watch some film after our meetings. And Marcus is excited about pizza again, Coach. But that will be communicated on an individual basis, and that's generally, I don't surprise you with weekend stuff. Our expectation and my expectations, our coaches meet from 1 to 4 on Sundays. But when we're going, okay, as a program Monday through Friday, okay? Anything that you can clear out, I understand we have just drive. I know it's exciting to be 16. I really try not to have weekends. My Saturdays, I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. They take a lot of my time on Saturdays. And then my wife, I have to buy her a lot of stuff at the end of the year, but she takes care of it, and I understand. But know that everybody's giving up some things, and that comes to the commitment, and it's not a loss on me. It's not a loss on what you guys do as parents. It's not a loss on me what my coaches do for you guys. So let's just continue to work together to try to clear out any personal stuff as much as possible to not detract from football when we're there. Okay, what to bring? This has been reiterated to me 10,000 times. We are not wearing sandals. At school, we are in a construction zone. No sandals. Has to be tennis shoes. Has to be tennis shoes. In case we're moving, in case things are moving, okay, we need tennis shoes. No sandals. The easiest way to not forget to not wear sandals is don't wear sandals. Okay, when you show up, Ben Ott's in sandals, you're going to say, why are you wearing sandals? You're not supposed to wear sandals, right? Okay? He's getting away with his last day of wearing these silly sunglasses too, isn't he? Oh, soak it in. Okay? So, no sandals of any kind can be worn outside. We eliminate any option of that by saying don't wear sandals, because then you're like, well, I forgot my tennis shoes to wear outside, but I have my sandals. Just wear tennis shoes. Okay? Have at least 1 gallon of water clearly marked with your name. In between, during 2-a-days, please bring a meal. We're not going to be able to have deliveries. There's not a quick turnaround. We have a working lunch. So it's like we're off the field, bring your lunch to the classroom. So make sure that you have a meal for in between those 2. I'll hit nutrition a little bit. Cleats, shorts, please bring a swimsuit. I don't know what days we can get into the pool. We do have Coach Rosa, who is a lifeguard. I don't know if I have any other lifeguards, but we do access the pool from time to time. So just bring a swimsuit and keep it in your locker. If you have shorts, that's fine. And then any other gear you want, gloves, eye shield, braces, can all be determined by the athlete. They will get a locker. Make sure you bring a lock. All right, construction restraints, parking and entrance. We're going to continue to use Daphne. Please park. Older guys, please park up by the teacher's parking lot. As the season goes on and we get a little later, parking will become less of an issue because construction's usually done about 2 o'clock. Okay, those guys are usually out of there by 2:30. So as we go a little later, but these first 2 weeks, parking's going to be what it looked like probably at the end of the school year. So make sure you're getting there early. If you're getting dropped off, get dropped off at door 9. That is also where you will get picked up. We need to go to practice in tennis shoes, so we'll not put our cleats on inside. We have to walk across. They have the track paved. Okay, they have the track paved, and it's too hot right now to walk on with cleats because they still have to put the surface on it. So we cannot go on. If a football goes out there, we can't yell at the kids to go get the football that they dropped. The coaches have to go get it, which means don't drop a football, right, Doc? All right. So we have to wear sandals, or no, we do not wear sandals. We do not wear sandals. We have to wear tennis shoes, and from there, we will put our cleats on at the field. Acclimatization, ultimately, I will summarize this. It's 2 days in helmets, 3 days in helmets and shoulder pads, and then we put full pads on the following week. Okay? Air quality is a concern. With the wildfires, we will check air quality on a daily basis. The WIA has a mandate of when we have to stay inside, no different than the heat index. Okay, just one more thing to monitor, so we will monitor that. I did not print it out. I would have a link normally, but you can check out the WIA website for exactly how that goes. I have an air quality app. Marissa's ultimately the call on everything, but we do have everything. This is not year one of trying to deal with weather and what that looks like. We benefit from practicing from 3 to 8. Okay, I have other schools that are constantly going inside because they practice at noon. And so that's the hottest time of the day. So when we go from 3 to 8, and really it's 4:30 to 6, and then, 4:30 to 6, and then about 6:30 to 8. When we go there, we have a cooler temperature. So we don't hit that heat index much, but we do monitor it, and we make sure to play safe. We don't joke around with that stuff. But we do have that. Nutrition. One thing is, even for our older guys, hydration is super important, beyond super important, because we are on turf. We have never been in this heat before on a daily basis. It's a new heat on this turf. So you need to be drinking, according to Coach Rosa, half your body weight in ounces of water prior to practice. Is that science or is that you? Okay. That's not including the gallon you're bringing, not including everything that we are offering. Half your body weight in ounces every day. Okay? You constantly carry around a water jug. You will remain hydrated, eliminate soda, coffee, any diuretics. Okay? Athletes need to eat. You should wake up, have breakfast, lunch, okay, snack prior to 3 p.m. because then you'll be at practice, have a light meal in between practices, and then have a dinner after. Okay? Coach Rosa says that our athletes need 10 hours of sleep for your age. Okay, that should not mean 2 a.m. to 12 p.m. Looks like Jack Sheldrop does that. Okay. So you need to go home, go to bed, and I know it's tough to wind down when we're done at 8, okay, but that's something to think about, getting back into a routine. Okay? We do offer cold baths, extra stretching on your own. Okay? Can't do it all when I'm saying, hey, we're here and we're working football. If you're sore, you're not going, if you just stop and come back the next day, we're not going to improve. So you need to make sure that you are working on that. Athletic forms. I do not take them as a football coach. You need your physical form in, physical form. Okay? All the paperwork goes to the athletic department, not Coach Moroder, the athletic department, which is very easy because you're walking right by it as you enter door 9. Okay? This is mandatory for participation. At about 3 o'clock, I'll walk up to Ms. Desrud and I'll say, can I have the file of who has all their physicals in? I'll say, here you go. Athletes who don't have it, okay, we need to get that taken care of. Fundraising, okay, athletes are asked to raise funds in order to support our ability to provide the best gear, technology, and equipment. We use Huddle Sideline. We have a 50-inch TV that helps us adjust on game days. We just got a new end zone cam. All of this helps us. We ask for each athlete to raise $400. Sounds like a lot of money. The helmets I just bought, okay, for our athletes, put them that Speed Flex, put them in the best helmet, and the ones that they think are really, really cool, but it's one of the top helmets, is $500 a helmet. So what I'm asking for is not even for you to offset the cost of one helmet. Anything and everything we can do to raise funds allows us to put it back to our athletes. Okay, that will be August 3rd. We work with Todd Hankey, who comes in from United Fundraising. He takes care of pretty much all the information sheets and everything else. He'll come back the following, or 2 Tuesdays from then, and wrap everything up. I will send out more information from beyond just this regarding that. Parent volunteer opportunities. We have varsity team dinners. In late August, we have Watermelon Wednesdays, where we have parents who drop off, who are kind enough to slice up watermelons, drop it off. We'll do that after 2-a-days. Chain gang opportunities, game day photographers, lower level filming always helps when we don't have to send a child up there. And then JV and JV2 pregame snack managers. We're looking for leads on that. We've had it in the past. So if you are looking to be a lead, or you let's say, hey, I would like to volunteer in this capacity and think I can take a lead on that, please email me about being a lead. If you're like, no, I just want to deliver a watermelon, or I want to help out with team dinners or something along those lines, we will send out a sign-up genius for each of those opportunities. Okay. Certainly, I think Mr. Coyle has taken an opportunity to single-handedly take care of one. So if you're like, hey, I'd like to just cover one team dinner or one thing like that, as that comes through, please let us know. All right, program levels. I kind of want to explain this because it might get confusing. Hopefully I bring some clarity. Our goal is to create opportunities for all athletes to compete. This is the first year since I've been here that we are looking at having 3 levels, which is awesome. Okay, our program is growing. Super excited about it. How that's going to look. Okay, varsity games. Varsity, we are guaranteed 9 games. Sophomores suit up no matter what. They play on Thursday. They suit up on Friday. Sophomore through senior. Our JV for the first 2 games, and possibly 3, because West Bend East does not have a JV2. They don't have a freshman level, which I'm searching for another game for our freshmen to get them 7 games by themselves. Okay, our JV games will be made up of sophomores and freshmen. Okay, that will be JV. After week 2, hopefully I have a game, which I'm searching for, called Shorewood, but they had to play on a Wednesday. I'm going to work to find a game. It usually pops up a little later. The last 7 games, the freshmen will play a freshman-only schedule, which in our conference is known as JV2. Okay, so a lot of people are like, well, what's the difference between JV and JV2? JV, we can play anybody. Sophomore, freshman, junior, senior can play that. Okay. Now, in our conference, our coaches get together, and it is 90% sophomore laden. Okay. The first 2 games, the teams that I've talked to, I know that they're going to be made up of freshmen and sophomores. Okay. So I talk to the coaches on an individual basis and say how many kids. Okay. We've been playing that split deal for quite some time, but I'm really excited to be able to play that JV2 schedule and offer that. Certainly at our contact days. I think all the coaches were pretty excited about what we have in store at our lower levels, and so I'm pretty excited to do that. So for the first 2 weeks, well, really 4, because we got 2 weeks and then 2 weeks of games, it will say JV, and then we will break off, and the freshman will become JV2. I will send reminders. This isn't like set it, forget it. I will send reminders throughout the season to make that happen. Okay? And finally, for the kids, Coach, how am I evaluated? It's really easy. 2 things. Trust. I need to be able to ask you 3 things in life. Are you doing what you need to do, when you need to do it, how you need to do it? Whether that's your schoolwork, whether that's cleaning your room, whether that's doing football activities, are you doing what you need to do, when you need to do it, how you need to do it? You can answer yes to those 3 things. Your life becomes infinitely easier with those around you. Okay? So do I trust you? If there's no trust, then you're not going to play. I don't care how good you are. We need to trust you as coaches. Your teammates need to trust you. We play a team game. Football, high school football, to me, is the greatest sport because it takes a community. Okay? We're not shopping different areas. This is it. We are here because we live in this zip code, and I moved into this zip code to coach people in this zip code. That's a choice. And because of that, okay, it can build community. One of the last things left. So we have to be able to trust that our community is working together for where we need to go. Okay, and then secondly, athletic ability. Can you outperform your peers? That's strength, conditioning, and positional skill. Okay, if you've been working all year, my goal is to get you on the field. I work to start 22 starters. I don't start 22 starters to prove a point, but we become a better team against Cedarburg, who runs double tight, double wing, when I don't have to start 6 guys both ways. I work my tail off. I challenge my coaches to coach you guys to put you on the field. So we need to continue to work. Okay, when we take a look at strength, conditioning, and positional skill, we are working as a coaching staff to put kids on the field, not to eliminate opportunity. It makes us better. It puts us in a position to compete for conference championships, host playoff games, and it's something we've been pushing for, and it's something the last 2 years that we've been able to do, and that's another big reason why we've been successful. Okay? So when you're looking at this, can we trust you, and are you working with the coaches to improve every day? You're going to find yourself on the field a lot more than off of the field. And these can turn into pretty open and honest conversations, and I'm fine with that. Okay, one thing I don't do, okay, is I don't usually get them because I'm pretty honest, but I don't take an email that says, please don't tell Sam Schultz that I emailed you. Well, I'm going to, or I'm not going to have this conversation, because 9 times out of 10, if Sam has an issue, he knows that he can come to me, or I need his voice in order to solve the problem. Okay, because it doesn't solve the problem, doesn't get everything in the air that we need to get in the air and help us get better. And like I said, my goal is to always put kids on the field, not take them off. So please young athletes, feel like you can come to the coaches knowing that that is our intent. Okay? So with that, I'm very excited to start at 1:30 tomorrow. I'd love to tell you where we're practicing. I'm 99% sure it's going to be at Nicolet, and I'm 100% sure you are all going to wear tennis shoes tomorrow. Any questions for the whole? I don't want to call on you, Evan, but sure. That's the door we've been coming in all year from Daphne. Just keep going through the same door, Evan. All right. T, what time is it? Am I running late? Oh, I'm running late. I did say this year it would be probably a little, I didn't have my slideshow, so I had to read. All right. CJ. No Crocs. Tennis shoes, CJ.